Morning, Folsom High. It's Wednesday, August 23rd, and this is your news. I'm Cooper.
And I'm Chris. We have news, weather, sports, and a look at the rules with Mr. Cranston in a moment. But first, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready?
Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here's the news. We have a new face on campus. Mr. Xavier Williams joined our campus monitor staff this week. When you see Mr. Williams out on one of the carts, be sure to stop by and say hello. Welcome to the Bulldog family, Mr. Williams.
Tomorrow during pause, sophomores with the last names M through Z will go to the theater for a presentation. So, 10th graders with those last names, M through Z, tomorrow go to your pause class first, check in for roll, leave your backpack in your pause, and then class, and then go to the theater.
In club news, Club Rush is coming up next week on Wednesday, August 30th. You can check out clubs like the Foreign English Mentorship Organization. It's a great way to get service hours from the comfort of your home while making friends from around the world. Or check out From We to You, a safe space to receive mental health advice, participate in lively discussion and activities, receive homework help, and engage in community service.
Other clubs include the FHS Tennis Club. Whether you are just starting out or are a nationally ranked tennis player, they cater to all your tennis needs with help. Covering topics often missed or skipped over in traditional coaching. Follow the tennis club at fhstennis.club and join their Google Classroom with the code 3FMJ274. All athletes and levels are welcome.
Chamber and concert choir singers have been invited to sing at Carnegie Hall this coming March. This is an invitation due to their amazing performances and scores at the Heritage Festival in Anaheim last spring. The first of many fundraisers to help cover the trip will be next week on Monday, August 28th at Handel's Ice Cream. Be sure to tell them that you are there to support the FHS choir, and a portion of the proceeds will go to help them make the trip to Carnegie Hall.
In yearbook news, seniors, please get your senior portraits taken now. If you have not set up an appointment yet, please visit prestige.com and find the Citrus Heights office to make yours now. Also, FHS Yearbook wants you to follow them on Instagram and TikTok. These are the QR codes to follow. Join up now so you can follow and share your pics. They could end up in the yearbook.
We have some weird weather. Hot, humid, and rainy. It's been all over the place.
Let's check in with Josh in the Weather Center to see what the weather will be this weekend.
Good morning, Bulldogs. This week will still be extremely warm, so dress appropriately and drink lots of water. Here is the weather map for today. It will be pretty warm in the 90s and low 80s in some areas. As you can see in the valley, temperatures will stay around 90. But if you move to the foothills and Bay Area, you can see that temperatures are much lower, with San Francisco being 70 and Fairfield being at 88. As for today, the high is 98 and the lowest is 63. And looking here at the 7-day forecast, it looks like today it is sunny and hot. And Thursday and Friday, it is sunny and hot. And over the weekend, it's also sunny and hot. And on Monday and Tuesday, guess what? It's sunny and hot. Moving over to the Sierras, both Lake Tahoe and Truckee will stay in the 70s. That's it for the Bulldog Weather Report. Make sure to hydrate and have a great week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Josh. In sports, if you signed up for Powder Puff, please turn in your packet to student accounts by Monday, August 28th to be eligible for the team. See Mr. Castro in IB 207 if you need a package.
Today, girls junior varsity golf plays at Roseville at Sarah Pines Golf Course. Girls volleyball is here at home tonight, starting with freshmen at 4:30 in the gym, JV at 5:30, and varsity at 6:30. Come out and cheer on your Bulldogs tonight. And tomorrow is our first flag football game in the stadium. Go see what it's all about and make some noise for your Bulldogs tomorrow night.
Yesterday was the Leadership and Ethics in Athletics meeting. 20 or so coaches and about 85 student athletes spent a day together to discuss and develop ethical leadership practices. Dr. Andrea Becker was the keynote speaker and guest facilitator. Dr. Becker is a sports psychologist for the U.S. men's Olympic volleyball team, and she was the first female coach of a male sport in history of UCLA. Congrats on a great day of leadership, Bulldogs.
That's the news for today. Stay tuned to look at campus rules with Mr. Cranston.
We'll be back tomorrow at Pause with more, plus a look at some videos from the end of last year. Shout out to Coach Carroll, shout out to Mr. Mosier, shout out to Coach Mills, shout out the women's flag football team. Tell them to bring out the whole ocean.
Let's make it a great day to be a Bulldog.
Good morning, Folsom High School. This is Mrs. Cranston, your friendly neighborhood assistant principal. Today we're going to talk about school-wide expectations. As we discuss these, you can follow along in your pause port. Today's topics are going to include attendance, late policy, closed campus, lunchtime, tobacco and vaping, positive achievement with supports or PAWS, academic dishonesty, cell phone use, Saturday school, parking and bike racks, PE lockers, and behavior. Please keep in mind that all of these are very important to keep our school safe for all students. Attendance. The policies for attendance can be located on pages 31 through 33 in your pause port. Ultimately, you are responsible for your own attendance. Please verify each absence with a note, an email, or a phone call from parent within 5 days. If you write a note, it must include the following: your name, first and last, the dates and times and reasons for your absence. If you go to the doctor or the dentist, get a note, even if it's for 10 minutes, an hour, or 2, or more. Our attendance clerk is Mrs. Egan. Folsom High School has a late policy, which can be found on page 31 of your pause port. The first 2 times that you are late to class is teacher's discretion. The third time, teacher can assign you 30 minutes of after-school attention and will contact your parents. The 4th and 5th time, you will be assigned 50 minutes after-school detention, and your parents will be contacted. The 6th and 7th time, administration will be notified. That is your assistant principal by Alpha. You will be assigned Saturday school, and we will be contacting your parents. So please make sure that you are in class and on time. Folsom High School is a closed campus. The policy for this can be found on page 34 in your pause port. The following areas are considered off campus: all parking lots during school hours. Students are not allowed to go to their cars during the school day. The Pond Reservoir area, Leap Yoga Shopping Center, the neighborhood behind the Leap Yoga Shopping Center, the Safeway Shopping Center. Failure to abide by this regulation will result in Saturday school. Below you will see a map that indicates when you are off campus or out of bounds. If you are caught off campus or out of bounds during school hours and you do not have an off period, this will equal cut. The lines below show the lunch inbounds area. The areas inside the blue lines are where you should be for lunch. This limits the amount of noise and disruption for all students who are in class. Couple of reminders for lunch. You may study in the library once you finish eating, but please remain quiet and remember that no food is allowed. You may make an appointment with your teacher. Please do not access vending machines in any of the buildings. The PE hallway is off limits unless there's rain, extreme heat, or smoke day. There are no deliveries. I repeat, no deliveries allowed at school. You can find this policy on page 35 in your pause port. No deliveries includes DoorDash, Grubhub, any other food delivery service, flower delivery, grocery deliveries, anything that would be considered unnecessary. Flowers, balloons, commercial foods, and gifts are not to be delivered or brought to Folsom High School. They create instructional interruptions that interfere with the school's mission and may be a distraction or interruption to students and staff. Balloons may unnecessarily set off fire alarms and are prohibited on campus. Please do not visit campus to drop off lunch to a student unless in the case of emergency. If you have a parent who is or a guardian who is going to make a delivery, they must drop them off at the receptionist desks in the administration building. Please make sure that you remember this no deliveries policy. Finally, have pride in our campus and clean up after yourselves. Rats and snakes are a serious problem. Possessing or using tobacco or any products containing vape is prohibited on campus. The consequences for this are at minimum Saturday school. You do have the option to complete 3 intervention sessions provided by district mental health specialists. The maximum consequence is a 5-day suspension or recommendation for expulsion. The full student discipline grid is located on pages 39 through 44 in your PAWS-port. Positive achievements with support, PAWS, is located on page 17 in your PAWS-port. This intervention period is designed to provide students with academic opportunities. It is self-scheduled unless you prove that you need additional support. You can meet with teachers for extra help, study with peers or individually, collaborate with peers with academic-related topics, make up absent work, retake assessments, or attend special school functions. Academic honesty. It is really important that you're academically honest. You can find the rules and procedures on page 29 through 31 in your PAWS-port. The following terms are all defined in your PAWS-port on those pages: cheating on tests or assignments, fabrication, unauthorized collaboration, plagiarism, alteration of material, forgery, theft, or transferring on unauthorized materials. Please go to pages 29 and 31 of your PAWS-port and look it over. Cell phones. Folsom High School has a cell phone policy. This policy is located on page 47 of your PAWS-port. The first offense of cell phone abuse in class, teacher will take your cell phone to the assistant principal's office and it will be returned to the student with a warning. The second time your phone is taken, we will not be able to give this phone back to you, the student. It will have to be returned to your parent or guardian. There are no excuses for this. Phones will not be released to students. A third offense of cell phones will result in detentions. On the third offense, a parent will need to pick up your phone and it will not be released to the student. Saturday school. Description of what Saturday school is can be found on page 49 of your PAWS-port. It may be assigned for disciplinary reasons or truancy. It is on a Saturday in the library from 8 until noon. If you are assigned Saturday school, you'll be called to the assistant principal's office and will receive a piece of paper with instructions on where to go and what date and times. If you do not show up to Saturday school, your parent or guardian will be called and you can receive possible on-site suspension. Saturday school is open to anyone who wants to do schoolwork and have access to the library. Parking on campus. This policy can be found on page 48 of your PAWS-port. Remember that parking on campus is a privilege. Your parking permit may be revoked at any time for, but not limited to, the following reasons: leaving school grounds without permission, unsafe driving, any behavior or action that results in off-campus suspension, 2 or more unsatisfactory citizenship grades in one grading period. Any of the above infractions may result in the revocation of student parking permits. No refunds are given for revoked permits. Bike racks. If you ride a bike to school, you must keep it in the bike rack and it must be locked at all times. Bikes that are not locked will be recorded in the power school when they are picked up by their owner, and parents will be notified. The school is not responsible for stolen bikes. Behavior at sporting events. What to do? Make sure that you cheers positively. Make sure your cheers are positive and not personal, and portray positive sportsmanship. What not to do? Do not target chants at opposing players or teams. Do not target refs, and do not use profanity. Behavior off campus and weekend school events. The policy for this can be found on page 49 in your passport. Negative behavior to and from school could result in school-provided consequences. On Fridays, if student behavior becomes a concern at our neighboring businesses, they will notify school administration and Folsom PD. Local businesses have the right to refuse your business based on your behavior. If you are caught under the influence or in possession of another school's activity, dance, or game, then Folsom High School school consequences will apply. PE lockers. Please remember that PE lockers are school property and they are only to be used for PE. Do not share your locker with anyone or give them your combination. All personal items must be stored in your PE locker and locked during PE. We are not responsible for lost, stolen, or damaged personal items. Lock your locker. Seriously, lock your locker. Do not leave anything out of your locker. PE lockers are subject to being searched by authorized personnel at any time. These are just a few of the highlights within your passport. I hope that you take the time to look through the entire portion of your passport that has all of the rules and discipline. If you have any questions, please come here, see your assistant principal, and we will be glad to answer any questions or to help you out. Thank you. Have a nice day.